Welcome back to Lifect. Every month, we release a new episode of our monthly productivity series. How productive were you in February? Leave a comment below and let's discuss. We're excited to bring you brand new tips for the month to keep you both focused and innovative with your productivity strategies. Subscribe and like this video for another episode next month. Let's get right into the video. Our first piece of advice is going to be to ditch the to-do list. Have you ever felt like you were drowning in a never-ending to-do list, unable to focus and finish your tasks? Don't worry, the solution is easier than you think. All you have to do is make a plan and commit to sticking to it as closely as possible. This powerful process will assist you in prioritizing your tasks and staying on track. Instead of making a long list of your responsibilities, try putting them on your calendar. Setting aside specific blocks of time for tasks such as responding to emails or writing documents allows for you to focus on them uninterrupted. So why wait? Begin planning your way to success right now. Next piece of advice, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. We've all succumbed to the irresistible allure of social media notifications. But consider this, is knowing if your post was liked worth the constant distraction and disruption of your day? If not, it's time to take charge and disable those pesky notifications. While you're at it, consider whether you really need your concentration broken every time a new text or email arrives. If the answer is no, it's time to turn off those distractions as well. We recognize that there are some people whose calls you simply cannot afford to miss. You could always look into your phone's emergency bypass setting, which allows certain people to contact you in an emergency, such as your spouse, children, parents, etc. So go ahead and seize control of your attention. Your more focused and productive self will thank you for it. Our next piece of advice, you do not need to join every single meeting. Raise your hand if you've ever sat through a meeting mentally counting the minutes that pass as you listen to someone drone on about status updates that you could have read in an email. We've all been there, and it's time to move on. Let's face it, meetings are only useful if they provide new perspectives, troubleshoot problems, or address complex scaling issues. If the information is only going one way, why not save everyone's time and send an email instead? But don't just take our word for it. Consider what the true purpose of this meeting is. Is it necessary? Could it be shortened? Most importantly, do you really need to be there? Consider whether your presence is truly necessary or whether you could better use that time to progress on your own tasks. So let's raise a glass to better and more productive meetings, and maybe we'll have a little more time to enjoy that coffee now as well. Our next important piece of advice for your productivity is to give yourself some breaks. It's time to answer the age-old question. How long can you really sit in front of a computer before your quality of work starts to decline? While getting into the flow of things can be extremely satisfying, pushing yourself for 3 hours straight can leave you exhausted and unproductive for the rest of the day. So what's the fix? To keep your mind fresh and engaged, work in sprints and take well-timed breaks. Enter the Pomodoro technique, the ultimate productivity hack that will keep you on track. Breaking down your work into manageable chunks and taking short breaks in between will allow your brain to recharge and return stronger than ever. So go ahead, try it for yourself and see just how much you can accomplish in a day when you literally work smarter and not harder. Stop chasing perfection. The elusive pursuit of perfection. Is this not a trap that so many of us fall into? We get so caught up in pursuing an ideal that we can't even define, that we end up trapped in a never-ending cycle of self-criticism and doubt. But here's the thing, perfection is overrated. It's a mirage, a pipe dream. By aiming for excellence, even if it's just 5 to 10% better than the competition, you'll stand out as someone who consistently produces high quality work. And the best part, small gains add up over time. So even a minor advantage can make a significant difference in the long run. So instead of striving for perfection, let's strive for excellence and watch our hard work and dedication pay off handsomely. Our next piece of advice is to reject before you accept. We've all been there. Someone asks us for a favor, and we say yes without even thinking about it. But here's the thing, whenever we say yes to something, we are also saying no to something else, which is usually ourselves. So let's make a deal to prioritize our own goals and mission. If a task or opportunity doesn't align with our priorities, it is okay to politely decline it. In fact, it's more than okay. It's necessary for our own well-being and success. So the next time someone asks you to do something, pause for a moment and consider whether it aligns with your goals and values. If not, don't be afraid to say no, and watch as you begin to make progress toward what really matters. Our next advice for you is to simply do what you can. You're the go-to person for any task, and you always outperform everyone else. But here's the thing. If you're doing everything, you won't have time for the important things that only you can do. So why not consider delegating some of those smaller tasks to someone else? Not only will you have more time to devote to the things that truly matter, but you'll also be providing an opportunity for someone else to both grow and develop their own skills. It's a win-win situation, really. Do what you can and don't get distracted. We all know how easy it is to get sidetracked in today's always-on world. If you plan intentional breaks throughout your day, you can stay focused and productive without feeling overwhelmed or exhausted. Trust us, your mind and your boss will thank you. And our final piece of advice for you this month is to organize your time by day, week, or month. We all know that setting goals is important, but it's also critical to take the time to truly understand what those goals actually are. Where do you see yourself in a year? What about 5 years from now? What about a decade from now? Once you've determined your long-term objectives, it's time to break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Let's say you want to release your financial reports for the upcoming year. Rather than simply setting that as your goal and kind of hoping for the best, divide it into daily, weekly, and monthly goals. How many words or pages should you write each month, and how many hours per week should you devote to this specific task? You'll be more likely to stay on track and achieve your goals if you treat these objectives like appointments on your calendar or agenda. And the best part, breaking down the large goals into smaller steps not only makes the process more manageable, but it also allows you to achieve long-term goals more quickly. So dream big. With a little forethought, you can make those dreams a reality. That is all for today's episode, everybody. We hope you enjoyed it and can put these tips to use in the coming weeks to have a productive month. We hope you enjoyed March's productivity tips. See you in April, everybody. Thank you for watching Lifect.